r/Nosleep. Posted by u/FluffyBoy2. I found the job at a mansion located somewhere we weren't allowed to know. I selfishly traded someone's life for an escape. I woke up to the sound of my alarm. I prepared carefully, but I realized that the butler hasn't rung the bell yet. I walked out of my room and there was no one at the end of the hall. I went outside to the main hall, and standing in the middle were Alvin and Nick. "Why are you guys standing here?" I asked. "We woke up early and went around the mansion, but we couldn't find anyone," Nick said. "We thought that it would be better if we stayed together and wait until the day ended," Alvin added. "They're right, if there is no one to watch us then we could just wait until the day ended so that we could go home. Only if it went as we wanted it to. We still do our jobs, but together, it was too risky for us to separate. When it was lunchtime, we didn't eat anything because we knew we weren't allowed to just touch things without permission. After all of the jobs have been finished, we all gathered inside my room. I counted every hour, and whenever an hour passed by, I could feel hope rising in me. It was too easy. There was no challenge. We waited, and waited and waited. Until it was already dark outside. Flick. The lights went out. "Quick, light your matches," I told Alvin and Nick while taking out my matchbox. After we all did, I stood up and opened the door of my room for us to go outside. "Remember, if you see any eyes, don't look at them." We all stuffed all of the rules inside our heads while we were waiting. The whole mansion was pitch black. When we reached the main, our matches went out. We lit another, but then not 3 minutes later, it went off again. "If this keeps going on, we will soon run out of matches," I said to Nick and Alvin. "We need to go outside fast. That's the only place where there is a light source." It was the moon. I turned the knob of the front door, but it didn't move. That's when our matches went out. I lit my match, Nick did so too. But Alvin. I ran out of. He didn't even finish his sentence before something from the dark jumped at him, taking him away. "Alvin!" Nick yelled. I ran to the storage and grabbed the axe and the GPS behind it just in case. I dashed over to where the creature got Alvin and I saw it was eating his face. I held the urge to throw up back and swung the axe down onto the creature. It shrieks and then ran back to the darkness. Alvin was still breathing. No, he was grasping hardly for air. His face was unrecognizable. And then, he stopped. A little drop ran down from his eyes. I still don't know if it was his last tear or if it was blood. I quickly ran back to the main door and used as much force as I could to swing the axe down on it. It started to break down and finally with a kick, it swung open. Me and Nick ran outside. We know the only thing that could keep the creature that took Alvin away was the matches, but staying in the dark would also cause a huge risk of the eyes looking at us. Which is why I suggested for us to go outside. But it was useless. Going outside wasn't any better because the moon wasn't there. On the sky, there is only blackness. I looked up and suddenly, eyes after eyes started to appear from the sky, moving intensely. I quickly told Nick to just look ahead. The outside of the garden was also pitch black. "How many matches do you have left?" "I have 4," I said. "Me too," Nick replied. "We have to find a way out of the house." I went into all of the rooms before, but there was just no way out. The only place left was the trapdoor in the maze. I used the GPS, which still has the previous location I've been to in the maze saved. We used a total of 6 matches on our way there. When we got where we needed to, I used my phone to find the trapdoor and was able to find it easily. I opened it and then climbed down the ladder. Nick also followed me. We were standing in some long path being lit by torches on both sides. I told Nick to take one of the torches and I also did the same thing. We continued walking down the long path and then we finally reached a big room. Standing in the middle was a woman in an old school dress. Those types of dresses you would see a queen wear in those movies. It was beautiful and big. "So, you two made it here." She turned around and it was a beautiful woman. Her hair has a nice red color and it was tied up nicely. She then grinned, a grin that was so wide it sent chills down my spine. "Oh. Marvelous. I was afraid that only one of you would make it, which means none of you will get out of here alive. But now, there are 2. The mysterious woman then walked up a flight of stairs and sat down on a chair that was placed on top of it. "Who the hell are you?" I asked. "Me, I'm the Witch of Boredom. And you are all my toys. Your purpose is to bring me joy and let me escape from this boring life," she said. "The Witch of Boredom, the person who was mentioned in the book I found. So you are the person who made all of the creatures? The person who got most of us killed? If this has been going on for a long time, Then probably someone must have noticed this, right? She held a glass of red liquid in her hands. That's impossible. Those ads you all saw were never real. They're simply just illusions. The illusions would only appear if a male from the age of 16 to 18 is looking for a job. Why is only? Nick asked. A male's body is usually stronger, and drinking the blood of the young one allows me to maintain my beauty. You're a sick fuck. I yelled. Oh, am I? She laughed and then took a sip out of the glass. I was about to walk up the stairs when something stopped me. I couldn't even step on the first step. She giggled while looking down at me. I'll let one of you escape out of this place, with one condition. It's to entertain me. The person who entertained me the most will escape out of here, she said. Wait. Before we do so, answer my question first. I yelled. What is it? On the second day, we were all called out at midnight, which means we broke one of the rules. How are we still alive? If you all died at once, the show would have ended too quickly. The people who died, what happened to them? The woman held up the glass. I got my answer immediately. I've also erased their existence in this world, so no one outside of this place would remember them. Now, no more talking, you two have 10 minutes. Time was not on our side. I'm already getting bored, so if any of you talk, I might just reduce the time. That is, unless it has something to do with the show you're about to put up. You sick fuck. As soon as I turned around, I was punched straight to my face. I got knocked down on the floor, blood was running down my nose. What the fuck? I said. I dropped my axe next to me when I was knocked down. I'm sorry, Adrian, I need to escape from this place. I have a mom I need to care for. He swung the axe down onto me. I rolled over to the side. The woman started to giggle more and more. You two are very good at letting me escape this boredom I'm stuck in. More. The witch said. I stood up and charged at Nick. I was able to pin him against the wall. He dropped his axe on the ground. I then released him, leaving him quailing in pain on the ground. I walked over to the axe and then grabbed it. I also have a family too, you know. I want to leave this place too, you know. I slowly walked over to Nick, who was still on the ground. He raised his hands. Please, Adrian, don't do this, don't. He begged. I raised my axe. Adrian, please don't do this. I still need to pay back my mother. She raised me till now while her life was full of struggles. I want to pay her back, please. I left all of his words out of my ears and then... whoosh. No. It finally hit him. I repeated a few times and made sure he finally died. The woman stood up from her place and clapped. I'm satisfied. And like I said, I will let you leave. She said. Don't worry, I'll let you keep all of the money. I looked at her and then she flicks her hand. A path appeared from a wall. There was light at the end of it. Just go through there and you will be able to leave this place. I slowly walked toward the light and finally... beep, beep. It was the sound of machinery. I was in a hospital. The door then opened and a doctor walked in. You're awake, we found you passed out on the road. You got a broken nose and some also lost some teeth. However, don't worry, it's nothing too severe. We've also contacted your family. The doctor then walked out, leaving me in the room. I was out of the hospital the same day. When I got home, I immediately jumped on my bed to get more rest, but there was a weird feeling under it. I lifted up the blanket and I saw stacks of money. $3,500 in total. This amount of money, I don't know what to do with them anymore. I'll let you all decide.